position now while he's keeping his opponent busy with those Mutalisks. But Free's got a couple of got an Archon already. He did put that in 3 gateways, and he should have a couple more, and he should be ready to have enough in his defense to be free to push out against Saviour's Mutalisks. Free, meanwhile, looks like he's content on taking his mineral only, his off expo, and defending it. Meanwhile, Saviour looks like he's going to try and intercept him. Saviour catches a High Templar off. That's going to be critical. The fact that he managed to take that High Templar out, but he's got to be careful here, or his Mutalisks are going to get caught, and then he's going to find himself at a severe disadvantage. He doesn't have a lot of ground forces still. He's building his Queen's Nest, so it looks like he's going straight for Hive, and I'm not sure this is a clever move by Saviour on this map, especially he doesn't have the economy to be able to execute this sort of build. Free's got a Photon Cannon in the rear as well. Saviour trying to get his Lurkers in place within range of that Expo. He managed to get one of the Lurkers down. The second Lurker is ushered away by the Zealots. He's going to pull that back and put it in a different position. Obviously, Free's got a High Templar, and he's going to be forced to use that Storm. Saviour now bringing the Mutalisks in. He might try and take that cannon down to get his Lurkers within range. He's at the moment within range, and looks like Saviour's going to come in for another little bit of harass at the secondary off Free. Saviour drawing the High Templar Storm. I don't think he took too much damage in that. He took a little bit of damage, but I don't think he's lost any more Mutalisks. So far, Saviour only has lost the one Mutalisk while committing decent harass against Free, and Saviour just continued to wander around with those Mutalisks almost as well. The Archon coming out, and Saviour taking damage. Saviour loses a Mutalisk there and taking quite a lot of damage from that Archon. Careless, and that Archon now has obviously got 2 kills. Saviour still with the 1 Lurker. Free hasn't used the Storms, hasn't sacrificed the Storms to take that Lurker out, hammering away at that gas off that off expo, excuse me, just south of 12 o'clock position. That's not going to bother Free too much though, because he still has the gas in his main. Saviour, I suppose Saviour can sort of go for the straight to Hive Tech because he does have the 3 gas, even though he doesn't have the economy, the magnitude of the economy that he had in the previous game. And I'm sure Free is going to be aware of what Saviour's doing. At the very least, he's probably expecting Saviour to put an expansion down, and maybe he's not going to be expecting, and that's what Saviour's hoping, that Free's not in. Free now with the Observer out is going to try and take that Lurker out. Saviour doing his best to try and save the Lurker, but that Lurker's been cornered by the Zealots, almost escapes, and the Lurker just trying to do a dance on the Zealots, buying as much time as he can for Saviour, but unfortunately that Lurker is now going to get taken out, finally cornered. Good micro by Free. Free's micro has been pretty solid throughout this game, but he just came up slightly short in the first matchup against Saviour. Free still very much in this game. He's got that expo up, he's got it protected, even though he took some hits to his economy early on. I feel Saviour hasn't capitalized on the fact that he had free boxes in his base for so long by putting down an expansion. Surely Saviour could have had an expansion maybe up in the main of possibly the 1 o'clock base. Again, the problem with Othello being a smallish map, it does allow the Protoss player to move their units around much quicker. Saviour looks like he's going to now come for a big attack at that expo, and Free has detected this because he's pulling his forces back, but it's just a question of he's going to come back in time to actually save the Nexus. Saviour's focusing that Nexus down with his Zerglings. He obviously doesn't have Cracklings on this occasion. He's lost a lot of Mutalisks in the process, and Saviour is not going to be able to take the Nexus down. Careless by Saviour. A lot of his Zerglings, he really didn't kill any buildings there. I think he killed a single pylon before he retreats. I guess he didn't want to lose too many units. He's managed to save some of his Zerglings and some of his Mutalisks, but he lost a lot of forces there for really doing no damage to his opponent. He didn't really kill too many probes. He's got the Defiler's Gen out as well. His Hive is obviously up, and it looks like he's taking the 6 o'clock expo now. I think, again, he could have afforded to take that a lot earlier and would have been paying dividends for him by now. So Saviour keeping the pressure on Free, but he had an opportunity to take that Nexus down, and he wasn't able to finish it. And now Free's got a High Templar waiting, so this attack is not going to be as successful from Saviour. And Saviour running right into those Storms, and really losing most of his units to the Storms. And great play by Free, getting the 2 Storms off, and then morphing into Archons, not falling for the bait this time. Saviour also trying to send Zerglings in from another direction. And again, a couple of fruitless attacks by Saviour is really letting Free back into this game. Free doing a good job of defending, and it is much easier for a Protoss player to keep control on the map in this game. Looks like Free's going for an expansion just south of his main as well, taking the expansion there. Meanwhile, Free's committing himself, looks like, to an attack at Saviour's 6 o'clock base. Saviour's trying to get a couple of Sunguns up, but he's lost too many Zerglings, I feel, and a lot of his Mutalisks. He's got a couple of Sunguns up, he's got a couple of Lurkers, so he just wards off that attack. The 2 Sunguns that were up and the 2 that were morphing seem to have slowed Free down momentarily. Free's going to come back in, though. He wants a piece of this action, and Saviour has got good Lurker spread on that, but Free with some good micro is going to be able to cancel that out, and I think Saviour's actually going to lose his expansion. This is going to surrender the initiative to Free, considering that Saviour committed himself to an attack at that off Freeze and wasn't able to take it down, and now it certainly looks to me like he's going to lose his expo at the 6 o'clock position here. He's managed to just about hold it, despite the fact that he's lost all of his Sunguns. He's just managed to push Free back. He's going to take some of the Dragoons out as well, and manage to get his Lurkers slightly more in an advanced position. Free trying to come in with the Dragoons. He's waiting for reinforcements to arrive in the form of Zealots. Saviour trying to cut off that retreat, but unfortunately he's going to end up losing his Lurkers. This is careless by Saviour. He's got a he's got a Defiler out there though, but Savior lost another couple of lurkers that he was trying to bring in to cut off Free's reinforcements, and Free's got Storms coming. So Savior playing well, but just making a couple of key mistakes, making a couple of minor mistakes in his decision making. Savior's got the Swarm up just to hold Free off, but that's only going to last until Free gets the Storms in from the High Templar. He's only got two High Templar though. Storm going off. Savior trying to use the Overlord to absorb some of the hits from the Dragoons over the lurker that's under the Swarm. Free now coming in, and that lurker's actually gone, so there's no Swarm there. So Savior actually trying to deceive his opponent about the lurker, trying to get his opponent to waste the Swarm there, but Free not falling for it, getting the Swarm off, and Savior's now got reinforcements coming in, but Free has gotten Savior under siege at this expansion at the 6 o'clock base. Savior now coming in with the Zerglings trying to take that Archon down before it completes. Savior manages to kill the Archon with the help of a lurker, so that's certainly going to aid his cause, but Free has built up a significant force here, and Savior really is fighting hard to stay alive. He's fighting with the Skeleton Crew. Savior with a great Plague. Free pulls his units back. Savior just managed to catch most of the Dragoons. Looks like he tried to put off a second Plague there possibly, but now the Swarm goes off, and that's what Savior needed more than Plague. He's got another Storm up again. I think another Storm went off as well, but Savior catching most of the Dragoons as well as the Archon. The Archon's not going to mind it too much. Savior once again trying to take that High Templar out, almost killing it, but the High Templar just about survives, and a terrible game of cat and mouse going on here between these two players, but Savior definitely on the back foot right now, coming under a huge cost. Looks like Savior decided to take the main expansion off the 630 Expo, the 630 expansion, and I'm not sure if Free is aware of that. I think Free's actually sending something out to scout it now, and Savier's not going to be able to defend it once Free finds, because Savior just doesn't have the amount of units on the ground. He's basically holding firm with almost what we could call a static defense with the Defiler and another Storm going off trying to take that Defiler out. Savior moves the Defiler away in time, so Savier's been aware of his micro. I think Free is probably saw it. I think I see a little white blob on top of the orange blob at the 630 expansion, so I think Free has seen it. The hatchery's gone up for Savior, but I think Free has seen it, so Free's going to be able to send some units down to take that out. Savior now finally looks like he's lost the Defiler that he had there, and he's lost the Swarms. He's trying to intercept Free's forces from coming in within range of the lurkers. He manages to just barely hold that defense with the two Sunkens and the lurkers, and Savier's held this, consistently been able to hold his base, but he's got no units left to speak of on the ground, and I'm not sure if that early tech to hive really played to his advantage. I think he would have been better off taking that 6 o'clock expansion earlier while he had Free pin back, and I think Savior made a mistake in terms of his decision making in that game, and it looks like he's going to cost him. That expansion indeed had been scouted, and it was a Zealot that had scouted it, so Free's just going to divert his forces and get a comfortable, clean kill on this expansion at the 630 position, and Savior is really going to struggle to defend it. So Free just pulls back, he's going to draw some of Savier's forces in, and I think he's going to use that Zealot to block the ramp against those Zerglings. Savior trying to get those Zerglings through with the one Zealot, the Zealot slowing the Zerglings down. Savier's managed to get the Zerglings down, but I'm not sure what those Zerglings are going to do except die against Free's committed forces. Free, for some reason, not committing himself to take that expansion out. I'm not sure why Free's doing that. Maybe he's afraid of getting landlocked, or maybe he's afraid of something that Savier's got hidden up there. Maybe he's afraid of lurkers. I'm not sure what he's afraid of, but Savior is being allowed to defend that expansion with literally nothing. Savior looks like he's going to try and do another sniping attack at that expansion. So Savior so far has kept himself in the game, holding that expansion at the 6 o'clock position. Free's now gotten a group of Zealots up. Savier's hidden Zerglings and a drone at the bottom left-hand corner of that base. Free must be wondering where the Zerglings are, and there's a chance he might go scouting around, and Savior with sending a Defiler up, but there's an observer sitting in the middle of the map giving Free excellent scouting information. And this is one of the differences between Savior playing today. One of his weaknesses is I haven't seen him snipe observers with the Scourges, which he normally does, and that observer is seeing those forces go up the middle of the map, and those forces are going to get trapped, and Savier's going to lose this battle here. He's going to get cornered into the top right-hand corner.